What's up, guys? Record Reezy back to another My Hero Academia manga chapter review, and this time we got chapter 298, and this chapter was heat. This chapter opens up with a brief flashback to what was going on with the commission while the heroes were attacking the hospital. Redestro had a twice clone doing his CEO duties basically while he was with Shigaraki and friends, helping leading the army. And the Hero Commission actually set Redestro up. Now, Redestro said he had a feeling that he knew those niggas was like those ain't shit niggas was gonna set him up anyway. So he was prepared. The twice clone was in place, and then it seems like a fight broke out because what we see, it's a room that's destroyed, and it looks like that lady from the Hero Commission and that guy from the provisional license exam who didn't get any sleep, they look pretty hurt. So looks like Redestro managed to hurt some of the higher ups in the commission during this setup, and it's kind of like they went through the trouble of setting up Redestro for not much result, because it looks like they sustained some significant injury, but alas, it was a clone, so they got finessed. But then like we fast forward a full 6 hours till after what was going on in Tartarus, and All For One is playing no games. It's just like he was hitting prison after prison after prison, and with his near high ends and some of the prisoners that he got from Tartarus. So he has essentially like a new army of prisoners that are just creating more members because they're attacking prisons, breaking people out. So that begs the question, because in this chapter we didn't see it, did All For One, because All For One says that his preparations are now complete. So did they get the doctor back? Did they get back the key members that they lost during the war that morning? Because he says he's gonna complete Shigaraki, right? So can All For One do that by himself, or get the doctor back from prison? And I don't think he got Machia back. Well, maybe, we don't know everybody who he's gotten back because he hit several prisons. So we're definitely gonna have to see who and what he's gotten from these prisons, because my snap reaction is that All For One got new members for his army, for his cause, and now he has a whole bunch of prisoners who probably have very strong quirks. So that's more ammo for himself essentially, and Shigaraki at this point. So that's very interesting to see how that unfolds. But one thing that really stuck out to me this chapter was Spinner confronting All For One Shigaraki. So Shigaraki's body, but All For One's piloting it. And he was essentially saying like, who are you? You're not the guy I chose to follow. And All For One, being, the sneaky guy that he is, he basically just addresses it by saying, yeah, I value Tomura's wishes. And we're gonna have to see how this dialogue plays out in the official translations this Sunday, excuse me. But it's definitely interesting. All For One is such a compelling character, because you never know exactly what the guy is planning, because like this entire time we felt like he's been grooming Shigaraki to take his place, and now it seems like he wants to take over Shigaraki's body. So we're definitely gonna have to see how this plays out. But All For One also says like he's going to let Shigaraki body rest, and then he's going to complete Shigaraki. So that to me is very, very interesting, because like I said, we don't know if he's gotten the doctor back or what, because how is he going to complete Shigaraki's body and make it perfect without the doctor's help? Well, it is All For One. That guy, who knows? That guy has a galaxy brain, so he might be onto something that we don't know at this point. And then we cut to 2 days later with Bakugo waking up as some of his class 1A classmates are coming to visit him. And Bakugo, it's not for any of the small talk. Mineta and friends are just happy that Bakugo's conscious and he's okay. And Bakugo's like, yeah, fuck all that. What about Deku? What about Shoto? What about Endeavor? We cut over to Shoto, Kirishima, Ashido, Momo, and the media is going crazy outside. Endeavor is gonna be under a super thick microscope for like the rest of his life now, because the media is so thirsty to get the scoop on whether Endeavor is actually related to this Dabi guy. And at this point, Endeavor is just better off just staying unconscious, in my opinion, because it's like they are all over him, and it's realistic because the media doesn't care what condition you're in. If there's a story, if there's something salacious going on, they just want the scoop. And Shoto's just kind of reflecting on this whole Dabi Toya situation to himself, because he's like, this guy just hung around the entire time, watching, waiting, and Shoto comes to like the realization, like, Toya is him before the sports festival, consumed by hatred and willing to get innocent people involved in just his hatred for his father. And Shoto comes to the conclusion, like, it can't be Endeavor. I have to be the one to stop Toya. I predicted this back in 2019 in a video on my channel called The Future of the Todoroki Family. The quality is not the best by any means because it was one of my first videos and I had limited resources, but a lot of the things I said in that video have happened over the past 2 years. So I'll link that in the description box below if anybody's interested in checking that out. But man, like, it's pretty great to see Shoto's hero's journey start to reach its apex, sort of, because his journey started with Deku saving him from himself, and now it's his turn to sort of pass that saving on to his own brother, who is essentially what Shoto could have been if Deku hadn't saved him from himself. So that's pretty beautiful in my opinion, quite honestly, because then we get Natsu and Fuyumi showing up to visit Shoto, and then we don't really, there's a third person with them, but we don't really get to see it because it's shadowed out. But let's be honest, it's Rei. Shoto's mom is finally out of the hospital, and that opens so many doors for conversations and moments. I cannot wait. Like, just imagine, let me just talk to you niggas for a moment. Just imagine Endeavor opening his eyes and seeing Rei, like, just sitting at his bedside, and then them having a conversation about the child they thought that they lost but is alive, and about all the things that have happened between them and to their family up until now. It is going to be a masterpiece, and I cannot wait. But then we cut back to Bakugo, and Sero and Sato tell Bakugo everybody's pretty much awake besides Deku, and Deku is the only person who has shown no signs of waking up. And Bakugo starts talking like, hey, if he dies, I'm going to kill him. At this point, Deku's his bro now, like, they're friends now. Bakugo is visibly concerned for Deku's well-being, and then the last shot of this chapter is Deku laying in the hospital bed and damn near a body cast, and All Might at his bedside. Now personally, I'm really curious to see what kind of ramifications Deku is gonna have to live with after this, because he, like, in Kamino, the doctor says, like, straight up, like, if you do this 2 or 3 more times, you're gonna have to live without the use of your arms. And Deku was throwing those 100% smashes at Shigaraki during their fight. So I'm beyond curious to see how this plays out for Deku, because is he gonna lose his arms? Is Eri gonna be able to rewind him back just a little bit before the raid so he could still use his arms, but he would still be in that little 2 or 3 more time gray area? Because in all honesty, it feels like we're heading toward a time skip. All For One is saying he's gonna complete Shigaraki. Deku is in shambles. Society is in shambles. So it seems like we're gonna get, it feels like, I should say, we're gonna get a time skip within like the next few weeks or a few months on it. But that's gonna do it for this chapter review, guys. Another great chapter from Horikoshi, and this guy has not missed at all. So, but get in the comment section and let me know what you guys think. And Edgeshot versus Best Jeanist is still coming. I have just been swamped with work, but I have not forgotten about it, guys, and it will be here very soon. But as always, I've been Reezy. You guys just got wrecked, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.